I'm a doctor and I've watched thousands of people over 60 make the same 5 mistakes every single morning at breakfast. These foods are marketed as healthy, recommended by cereal companies, and sitting in your pantry right now. But they're quietly destroying your metabolism, spiking your insulin, and accelerating the aging process in ways most people don't realize until it's too late. I'm going to reveal exactly what these 5 foods are, why they're so dangerous after 60, and what you should eat instead to protect your heart, brain, and longevity. Let's start with the most shocking one, whole grain cereal. You've been told your entire life that whole grains are heart healthy, that they lower cholesterol, that they're the smart choice for seniors. But here's what the cereal industry doesn't want you to know. Most whole grain cereals contain 12 to 18 grams of sugar per serving. That's more sugar than a glazed donut. And because the grains are processed into tiny flakes or puffs, they hit your bloodstream almost as fast as pure sugar. Within 30 minutes of eating that bowl of cereal, your blood sugar spikes hard. Your pancreas has to dump insulin to bring it back down. For someone over 60, this is especially dangerous because your insulin sensitivity has already declined with age. A study published in the Journal of the American Medical Association followed over 70,000 adults for 18 years and found that high glycemic breakfast foods were associated with a 46% higher risk of developing type 2 diabetes. That's nearly half. And it's not just diabetes. These insulin spikes trigger inflammation, damage your blood vessels, and increase your risk of Alzheimer's disease. What makes it worse is that the fiber in these cereals doesn't slow absorption like whole intact grains would. The processing destroys the grain structure, so you're essentially eating sugar with a health halo. If you're over 60 and you're starting your day with cereal, you're setting yourself up for energy crashes, brain fog, and long-term metabolic damage. I stopped recommending cereal to my patients years ago, and the ones who switched saw dramatic improvements in their fasting blood sugar and energy levels. Now let's talk about food number 2, orange juice. This one surprises people because we've been conditioned to think of orange juice as a vitamin C powerhouse, a morning staple, something wholesome. But one 12-ounce glass of orange juice contains 33 grams of sugar. That's more than a can of Coca-Cola. And unlike eating a whole orange, drinking the juice removes all the fiber that would normally slow sugar absorption. So you're getting a sugar bomb with none of the protective benefits. A study from Harvard School of Public Health analyzed data from over 187,000 participants and found that people who consumed one or more servings of fruit juice per day had a significantly higher risk of developing type 2 diabetes compared to those who ate whole fruit. The researchers specifically noted that the liquid form of fructose bypasses your body's normal satiety signals, leading to overconsumption and insulin resistance. For someone over 60 whose metabolism is already slower, this is a recipe for fat storage, especially around the liver and abdomen. And here's the kicker, the vitamin C in orange juice. You can get that from half a bell pepper or a handful of strawberries without the sugar overload. The citrus industry has done an incredible job convincing us that juice is healthy, but the science tells a different story. If you want to protect your pancreas, your liver, and your waistline, skip the juice. Eat the whole fruit instead, or better yet, get your vitamin C from vegetables that don't spike your blood sugar. Food number 3, low-fat yogurt. This is one of the most deceptive products in the grocery store. When food companies remove fat from yogurt, they have to add something back to make it taste good. That something is sugar. Most low-fat yogurts contain 20 to 30 grams of sugar per serving, often more than a candy bar. And because it's marketed as a health food, people over 60 eat it every morning thinking they're making a smart choice. But here's what happens. That sugar triggers the same insulin spike we talked about with cereal and juice. Over time, these repeated insulin surges lead to insulin resistance, where your cells stop responding to insulin properly. This forces your pancreas to produce even more insulin, which accelerates fat storage, increases inflammation, and raises your risk of heart disease. A study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that high sugar intake from supposedly healthy foods like low-fat yogurt was directly linked to increased visceral fat, the dangerous fat that surrounds your organs. And it gets worse. When you remove fat from dairy, you also remove fat-soluble vitamins like vitamin D and vitamin K2, both of which are critical for bone health and cardiovascular function after 60. Full-fat yogurt, on the other hand, keeps you full longer, doesn't spike your blood sugar, and provides the fat your body needs to absorb those vitamins. I tell my patients over 60 to always choose full-fat, plain yogurt and add their own berries if they want sweetness. The difference in blood sugar response is night and day. Food number 4, instant oatmeal. Oatmeal has a health halo, especially the instant packets that promise heart health and convenience. But instant oatmeal is processed to cook quickly, which means the oat grains are pre-cooked, dried, and broken down into tiny particles. This processing destroys the structural integrity of the grain, so your body digests it almost as quickly as white bread. The result? A rapid blood sugar spike followed by a crash, leaving you hungry and tired by mid-morning. Most instant oatmeal packets also contain added sugar, artificial flavors, and sometimes even vegetable oils. One popular brand contains 12 grams of added sugar per packet. That's 3 teaspoons of sugar before you even add milk or fruit. A study from the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition compared instant oatmeal to steel-cut oats and found that instant oatmeal caused a 30% higher blood sugar spike and a faster return to hunger. For someone over 60, this blood sugar roller coaster is exhausting for your pancreas and increases your risk of insulin resistance. If you want oatmeal, choose steel-cut or rolled oats, not instant. Cook them with water or full-fat milk, add a tablespoon of ground flaxseed for fiber, and top with nuts and berries. This combination slows digestion, stabilizes blood sugar, and keeps you full for hours. The convenience of instant oatmeal isn't worth the metabolic damage it causes over time. Now food number 5, fruit-flavored anything. Fruit-flavored yogurt, fruit-flavored oatmeal, fruit-flavored cereal bars. These products contain little to no actual fruit. What they do contain is artificial flavoring, added sugar, and sometimes high-fructose corn syrup. One fruit-flavored yogurt cup can have 26 grams of sugar, and a fruit cereal bar often has 15 grams. That's more sugar than a scoop of ice cream, but it's marketed to seniors as a healthy, portable breakfast option. The problem with these fruit-flavored foods is twofold. First, the sugar content is outrageous, leading to the same insulin and inflammation issues we've been discussing. Second, they train your taste buds to expect everything to be sweet. This makes it harder to enjoy real whole foods that don't have added sugar. A study published in the journal Appetite found that people who regularly consumed artificially sweetened or sugar-loaded fruit-flavored foods had higher cravings for sweet foods and consumed more calories overall throughout the day. For someone over 60, this is particularly damaging because your metabolism is slower, your muscle mass is declining, and your body is less forgiving of poor food choices. These fruit-flavored products are designed to be addictive, not nutritious. If you want fruit, eat real fruit. A handful of blueberries, half an apple with almond butter, or a few strawberries with full-fat yogurt will give you vitamins, fiber, and antioxidants without the sugar bomb. So what should you eat for breakfast after 60? Focus on protein, healthy fats, and fiber. 2 or 3 eggs cooked any way you like, with vegetables if you want. Eggs give you complete protein, healthy fats, and almost zero carbohydrates, so your blood sugar stays stable for hours. Or full-fat Greek yogurt with a handful of nuts and berries. The protein and fat from the yogurt, combined with the fiber from the berries and the healthy fats from the nuts, Create a balanced meal that supports muscle maintenance, brain health, and steady energy. You can also have smoked salmon with avocado on a slice of whole grain sourdough bread. The omega-3s in the salmon reduce inflammation, the healthy fats in the avocado support heart health, and the fermented sourdough has a lower glycemic impact than regular bread. Or a smoothie made with full-fat yogurt, spinach, half a banana, a tablespoon of almond butter, and a scoop of protein powder. This gives you greens, protein, healthy fats, and just enough carbohydrates to fuel your morning without spiking your blood sugar. The key is to avoid processed foods disguised as healthy options. If it comes in a box, has a health claim on the front, and lists sugar in the first three ingredients, it's not serving your body after 60. Your metabolism has changed, your nutritional needs have changed, and the foods that worked for you at 30 or 40 are quietly sabotaging your health now. The food industry profits from keeping you confused, but the science is clear. Real food, minimally processed, with protein and healthy fats, is what keeps you strong, sharp, and independent as you age. If you found this helpful, share it with someone who needs to hear it. And if you want to learn more about the specific blood tests you should ask your doctor for after 60, I cover that in my next video. Subscribe so you don't miss it.